As the enemy approached, the army prepared their spells, led by the heroes. However, they soon realized it was an illusion, and the real demon army was attacking from the left flank. Yukami and Rusan swiftly moved to intercept them. Meanwhile, Rose delegated tasks to the rescue squad, assigning Tong and others to retrieve the injured and emphasizing the importance of their safe return. She tasked Orga and Yuru with healing, placing Araku in charge of their protection and instructing them to flee in emergencies. Finally, she briefed Yato on their role, planning to assist Orga and Yuru before engaging directly once combat escalated. As Yato nervously attended to the injured soldiers, their mention of a giant snake reminded him of the monster he encountered in the forest. Despite this, he focused on healing the soldiers' serious injuries. Meanwhile, the soldiers remained helpless against the giant snake, prompting the Black Knight to ponder the perceived weakness of humans. Suddenly, a soldier attacked her from behind, only to have the injury reflected back onto himself. Confused, the soldier attempted to flee, but Alec intervened, distracting the Black Knight and allowing the soldier to escape. Demilla recognized Alec as one of the kidnappers and found him intriguing. Observing Inokami's lightning magic in the distance, she headed toward the source as casualties mounted on the battlefield. Rose decided it was time to join the fight, confirming with Yato if he was ready. Yu's assured her of his readiness, prompting Rose's confidence. However, Yato teasingly remarked that her reassurance was unlike her usual self. Leaving Yuz and Inokami in charge of healing the wounded in the tents, Rose tasked Aru with ensuring their safety. Before heading to the battlefield, she warned Yato about the dangerous magic of the Black Knight and urged him to be cautious. Yato, recalling his vision of his friends' deaths at the Black Knight's hands, paused. As Yuz charged into battle, he immediately rescued a soldier from imminent death, drawing the attention of the enemy demons who recognized him as a healer. Despite their attempts to attack him, Yuz managed to evade their assaults and swiftly move away. Meanwhile, Rose showcased her formidable prowess by overpowering demon soldiers, while simultaneously healing wounded kingdom soldiers. Returning to the fray after his initial rescue, Yuz continued his task of saving lives on the battlefield. Inokami utilized her magic to eliminate demons, although the act of killing unsettled her. Their primary goal was to create a path towards the enemy commander to support their comrades against the giant snake threat. However, their advance was halted by the arrival of the Black Knight. Despite recognizing her formidable power, Rusan and Inokami charged at her, only to find that their attacks were ineffective against her armor. The Black Knight then used her ability to reflect the injuries intended for her back onto her attackers. Rusan, driven by anger, attacked her with his light magic, but Inokami intervened to stop him, explaining the consequences of their actions. In the midst of battle, Yato experienced visions of his friends' deaths, causing him extreme pain and rendering him vulnerable to attacks from demon soldiers. Fortunately, the soldier he had previously saved came to his rescue, protecting him from further harm. Yato continued his desperate search for his friends amidst the chaos of the battlefield, unaware of the perilous situation they were facing. Meanwhile, Inokami and Rusan, left to confront the Black Knight alone, devised a risky plan to exploit her weaknesses. With Inokami obstructing the Black Knight's vision using her magic, they managed to land some hits on her, speculating that she couldn't reflect injuries from attacks she couldn't see. However, their hopes were dashed when they realized the Black Knight could still reflect the injuries. Inokami noticed a remaining injury on the Black Knight's back, leading her to believe that attacks the Black Knight couldn't sense might bypass her ability to reflect damage. They executed another attack, with Inokami boosting her speed, and Rusan blinding the Black Knight, allowing Inokami to land a decisive blow. However, it turned out the Black Knight was feigning vulnerability. She swiftly counterattacked, critically injuring Rusan and reflecting the damage back to Inokami. Revealing her ability to control when and how she reflects damage, the Black Knight declared herself invulnerable. Inokami could only watch in despair, as Rusan lay injured, apologizing to Yato for failing to protect him. Meanwhile, the Black Knight, disappointed by the ease with which she defeated the heroes. As the battle raged on, Yukami reminisced about the moments leading up to their arrival in the new world, recalling the support and respect she received from her teachers, and the acceptance she found from Yato and Rusan. Despite the grim situation, she found solace in their presence, believing that as long as they were together, everything would be all right. Meanwhile, the kingdom's soldiers' morale wavered after witnessing the defeat of the heroes, while the demons celebrated the Black Knight's triumph. Determined to end the battle, the Black Knight prepared to deliver the final blow. However, Yato, fueled by determination, dashed past the soldiers and delivered a powerful punch to the Black Knight, sending her flying. Concerned for Yukami and Rusan, Yato rushed to their side, relieved to find them still alive. Yukami, tears in her eyes, was grateful to see Yato again. Their reunion was cut short by the injured Black Knight, who, in pain from Yato's attack, regenerated her armor and resumed her assault. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Yato focused on healing Rusan while Yukami attempted to explain the Black Knight's ability to reflect attacks. However, their conversation was interrupted as they were forced to defend against the Black Knight's relentless assault. Understanding the need to protect his friends, Yu's, despite his reluctance to fight, charged at the Black Knight to buy time for Yato's healing. As the Black Knight unleashed her attacks, Yu's realized he had no choice but to engage in combat. In the midst of battle, Yato noticed a surprising development. His attacks were not being reflected by the Black Knight's armor. Seizing this opportunity, he closed in on the Black Knight and delivered another powerful blow. As the battle reached its climax, the Black Knight, enraged by Yu's interference, morphed her armor to launch another attack at him. Meanwhile, Yukami watched in amazement as Yato continued to fight with unwavering determination. Rusan, regaining consciousness, was astonished to find his wounds healed thanks to Yu's magic. The Black Knight managed to land a hit on Yato, but Yu swiftly healed him, causing the Black Knight's armor to melt due to the healing magic's effect. Rusan, observing Yato coated in healing magic while attacking, was perplexed by the unusual sight. Inokami realized the flaw in the Black Knight's ability. Yato's healing attacks left no injuries to reflect, only the pain from his punches. Despite finding it unconventional, Yukami couldn't help but feel excited as Yato overwhelmed the Black Knight. In a final showdown, Yato clashed with the Black Knight, determined to protect his comrades. Their clash resulted in a stalemate at first, but with Yu's support, Yato's healing magic melted the Black Knight's sword, allowing him to deliver the decisive blow. Yato's healing punch, infused with intense magic, completely melted the Black Knight's armor, rendering her unconscious. After the battle, Yu's focused on healing the knights, while they expressed their gratitude to Yato for defeating the Black Knight. Yukami and the knights recognized the significance of Yato's victory, knowing that it had demoralized the demons and prevented further casualties. Yukami, still in awe of Yato's performance, couldn't help but admire his courage and strength on the battlefield. Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, Yukami couldn't help but tease Yato about his healing punch. Curious about its origins, Yato explained that Rose had taught him the move as a way to unleash his strength without causing fatal injuries, reflecting his reluctance to kill. Yu's expressed amazement and pride in Yato's newfound technique, but Inokami remained skeptical, attributing it to Rose's influence, which Yu's promptly denied. Grateful for Yu's intervention, Yukami was touched by Yato's words, considering him both a precious senior and a dear friend. However, their conversation was cut short by the urgent need for assistance on the front lines against the giant snake. Although Yato was eager to join the fight, Rose intercepted him, requesting an explanation before allowing him to return to the battlefield. Yato recounted his battle with the Black Knight to Rose, expecting reprimand but receiving unexpected praise instead. Rose recognized that the battle's outcome was already decided and urged them to return to camp, much to Yato's confusion. Yu relayed Rose's decision to his friends, and after expressing their gratitude, they hurried back to camp. Upon their return, Aila expressed disbelief upon hearing about the Black Knight's defeat. Assuming it was Rose's doing, she was stunned to learn of another individual with abilities similar to Rose's, described as a boy with black hair. Emilia immediately called for Balinak's return, realizing the threat posed by the heroes. Back at camp, Yato resumed healing the soldiers, his efforts uninterrupted as Tong brought in yet another injured soldier. As the soldiers marveled at the explosion caused by the hero's magic, which effectively ended the threat of the giant snake, a sense of relief washed over them. Rose informed Yato that the battle was concluded, but he felt a pang of sadness upon learning that another battle might be on the horizon. Nevertheless, he set aside his emotions and assisted Gerd in healing another injured soldier. Afterwards, Rose commended Yu for his timely intervention, acknowledging that without him the heroes might not have survived. Yato, however, humbly believed that Rose would have saved them regardless, but Rose insisted that Yu's actions were crucial in turning the tide of the battle. She praised Yato for his contribution to the rescue team, which moved him to tears as he reflected on his journey since arriving in the Linger Kingdom.